Seattle area has quite a lot of airports. You know, SeaTac, Seattle, Tacoma. This right here is, of course, the Boeing Kingsfield, where Boeing builds their airplanes, but there's also this airfield right here, Seattle, Renton, where Boeing also builds their airplanes. And interestingly enough, it's got a very short runway, only 5,200 feet of runway, 1,600 meters. But despite that, Boeing famously builds their 737s in one of these hangars. As you can see, here are some fuselages that are transported here. Oh, and look at how they're building the 737 MAX in this hangar as well. Now, for a 737 like this runway is alright, it's fine. But for a bigger plane like the 747, probably not. And that's something that people should have told Boeing pretty much 60 years ago. In 1969, Boeing was doing flight testing on the new 747-100. Yes, the prototype ones that we also visited a while ago on the channel. Back then, they wanted to test the 747's short runway capabilities by landing it at Seattle, Renton. Which turned out not to be a good idea. They tried this once and never again because of this.
As this 747 approached the runway, one landing gear was seriously damaged when it struck a concrete embankment just short of the runway.
Oh!
The aircraft settled on the two right engines, but the strength of the remaining landing gears was such that they did not fail, and the pilot was able to maintain directional control and keep the aircraft from veering off the runway.
That is a broken
engine. The flashes
engine,
you see are only engine surges, as no fire was experienced.
Yeah, that's
amazingly
good.
Little damage occurred to the airplane.
Yes, they really tried landing the 747 here and crashed right here because they landed too short. You know, this was back in a different era when flight testing was a little bit more, let's say, freestyle. Anyway, now it turns out the 747, the earlier ones, the 200 for example, as you can see by the very old style cockpit that still needed a flight engineer, had extremely low runway requirements for a plane of that size. It's pretty crazy how powerful it actually was. Now, we can definitely take off without a problem, despite us having quite a few passengers loaded up and quite a lot of fuel loaded up as well. It doesn't matter. We can just go into the captain's view, put out flaps to 15 degrees, and we're giving in full power, and we can definitely take off in no time whatsoever. So, in 3, 2, 1, now. There we go. All right, that actually did take the whole runway. It's pretty crazy that they want this plane operated here in real life. Well, only once. But there we go, we made a safe takeoff. So let's attempt a safe landing as well. So come on, 747. This plane was agile, surprisingly agile, and nice to fly as well for pilots. I'm pretty sure we can just do a nice landing. Maybe we're landing from this side, which is might just be a better idea than what Boeing tried in 1969. Let's flare it out now. Yep. Beautiful, and there we go. We've got the reversers coming out, and we can definitely stop in no time. Ah, beautiful. And we can actually just use this taxiway right here. Now, once again, this is a short runway, and it's definitely not the only short runway that the 747 saw over the years it operated. Now, in North Oregon, there's an airport called the McMinnville Municipal Airport, which is right there at the Evergreen Aviation and Space Museum. You know, Evergreen was an interesting charter and cargo airline which was operating between 1975 and 2013, using Boeing 747s from their headquarters of McMinnville. Here at the museum, there's also a Evergreen Aviation 747. Now, despite their headquarters being their airport, the McMinnville Municipal Airport has a very short runway. 1.6 kilometers, ladies and gentlemen. You would truly never think the 747 would fly to an airport that's called Muni. You know, it's a municipal little shit port. But despite that, it did that. This is, what is this? Oh no, this is like a Cub Scout intro right here. Yeah, the plane landed here. Alright, and what a landing this is. It looks like it's just landing on grass. They should have cut their grass before this so we could actually see the runway. But look at the dust being blown around by these engines right here. Because this runway is quite narrow, of course, the wings hang above dirt. I mean, look at this. Oh, wow, what a nice looking landing. Thrust reversers fully deployed, full braking as well. You can see that. Everyone is clapping, everyone is happy, and the airplane comes to a very, very, very quick hot, everybody. Very cheerful. Now, this is what that runway looked like in real life. Definitely not long, but interestingly, there's one thing that this guy said in the interview.
We were kind of surprised he didn't touch down until he was over halfway down the runway, but he got her stopped quick, so.
He didn't even use full runway, so yeah. Today it's time to find out how little runway does the 747-200 really need. Seattle-Renton would have definitely been the shortest one so far in history, although that landing went wrong. But of course, this airport as well. Absolutely oh wow, this is kind of brave operations by the Jesus Christ, we used every single inch of this this might just, okay, something we definitely need to do, and that's going to make a big difference, is fly this airplane without any passengers at all. After all, we're carrying 50 tons of payload. We can get rid of that and see how the plane flies. Now, we could make small steps, moving on from 1,600 meters to 1,500 meters. This is London City, but honestly, that's just stupid, of course, because I mean, this will definitely work. There's no challenge in it. Especially now with a relatively low payload, this probably shouldn't be a problem. So let's go full power. We're going to do static takeoff right now. So get these engines running to the highest it can do, and let's release the brakes and put out the flaps. Here we go. We're moving up to speed. It's pretty incredible how this airplane so big can accelerate so quickly. I mean, look at it. And of course, rotation is no problem. So 1,500 meters is barely a challenge at all. Actually, that is a little bit close. Anyway, so let's scale it down to 1,000 meters. We're starting to get into more challenging territory. This right here is an airport. It's called Orsta Volta or something like that. It's only got a 1,000-meter long runway. So all we need to do is just touch down on those touching zone markings. Actually, we're a little bit... Oh, there you go. That was a bit of a hard landing. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the reverse thrust out. I think the stopping will be no issue on a 1,000-meter long runway. In fact, wow, not at all. Perfect. I will say, though, taking off seems like a little bit of a challenge. Let's see if we can make that possible. Maybe just for safety, I will put out reverse thrust right here and taxi all the way down to the end of the runway to make sure to use every single inch of it. All right, this is going full power and probably blowing away. Oh, that's a few cars that are gone. That's for sure. All right, release the brakes. Let's go. Let's do it. Perfect. Let's put out the flaps all the way now as well, so we've got nice lift. The giant 747 is taking off on a 1,000-meter long runway. Let's see. Is it able to do it? Is it able to? Yes, it is able to do it, ladies and gentlemen, with just a slight tail strike and slight overrun. 1,000 meters is not that big maybe. So now it's time to move on to a 800-meter long runway. This right here is on a random German island, 830 meters or something of runway. I tell you, landing is not going to be an issue. This landing gear of the 747 luckily is quite, tough. It can, withstand quite hard landings, so no trouble. Actually, this runway is very small, but hey, come on, let's take a look. Okay, that might have been a little bit of an early landing right there. Kind of like what they did in Seattle-Renton after all. But this landing is absolutely no problem, in terms of stopping. Look at this. We can even use the first exit, which is pretty ridiculous. Though I admit, we kind of expanded the runway here a little bit. That's fine. Taking off is where it gets really interesting, of course, and this is where we're going to struggle. It's not going to work, even with the lightest of payload we can do, right? So let's go full power into these engines right here. This is now as light as plane can be. Full power, and release the brakes. Come on, you can do it, and put the flaps out as well. Maybe, I don't know. Oh yeah, actually, wow, at very low weight, this plane performs amazing. Never mind, goddamn. Perfect, everybody. 800 meters, no problem, with low weight. Now, what in the world is this airport? I wanted to move on over to 600 meters, but here's the width problem. The main landing gear doesn't fit on the run. That won't work. So we need to resort to a classic, of course. Okay, so business as usual. This is St. Bartholomew Island's runway. 600 meters as well. So let's go full power now. Yes, all is well. Flaps are coming out as well. Yeah. You can see the flaps are coming. That's perfect. And we're actually, yes! I'm able to pull, look! Okay, light tail strike right there, but this actually worked, ladies and gentlemen. Why is it so laggy? This actually worked for some reason. I'm very much impressed by the 747's takeoff performance. Yes, look at how it's able to climb out of here. This is a 600-meter long runway. We need to move on, of course, to a smaller one then. You know what this low of weight the 747 is? I think, honestly, a landing at a runway half as short, it's no problem. This is 300 meters now. So we're getting serious. Now, this all requires a little bit of skill. After all, we're still a 200-ton airliner, but we've got power. We've got a lot of stopping power here. This might just work. So let's try it. Okay. All right. There we go. That was a crash. Whoops, that hasn't worked. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. Maybe a little bit smoother of a landing this time around. Okay. Hasn't worked. Go around, go around, go around. No problem at all. Try again. No worries at all. No worries at all. This time around, I really would like the spoilers to go out, though. Uh-oh. It's gonna be hard. That's gonna be hard. Okay, there we go. I think there is absolutely no way of doing this at all. The problem is you need the stopping distance is fine, but we don't even get to stop. We died. I mean, this time you spent bouncing around before the reverse thrust can actually kick in, and then as well as the brakes, just not possible. So there you have it. 600 meters, no problem with the 747. 300 is. Who would have thought? So the 747-200 does have some interestingly low runway requirements. I don't know if that is of any use for you, that information. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow as always. Good night. And a special thanks goes out to my members, my supporters. Guns Killer, R27, James Duram, That Dude, Anime Gods of Gaming, Derek, Insider Plane, Nishijutsu Finder, Professional Jamal, Ryland Williams, and New the York. You've got beautiful names.